For a long time, people have told us two very different stories about artificial intelligence. One story says AI is almost like magic, a super smart brain that will one day think better than humans and take over everything we do. The other story says AI is nothing special at all, just a fast calculator that follows boring rules and does exactly what it's told. Both stories sound convincing, but here's the surprising truth. Both of them are wrong. When you remove the fear, the hype, and the confusing math words people like to use, AI is not magic, and it is not really thinking. At least not in the way humans think. AI does not have feelings. It does not have goals. It does not suddenly decide to do something. So how does a bunch of computer code learn to drive cars, write stories, make art, or help doctors find diseases? How does something made of numbers and electricity do things that feel so human? The answer is simpler than most people expect. It is not about complex formulas that only geniuses understand. It is not about secret intelligence hiding inside machines. It is about a very basic idea that humans figured out long ago and then taught machines to repeat again and again. Today, we're opening the black box to understand how AI really works. To understand modern AI, we first need to look at how computers worked in the past. This was called traditional programming. Back then, computers could only do exactly what humans told them to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Imagine you want to teach a computer how to recognize a dog. In the old way, you had to be extremely specific. You had to write rules like, if the animal has long ears, a tail, fur, and 4 legs, then it is a dog. At first, this seems reasonable. The computer follows the rules perfectly. If the rules match, it says dog. If not, it says not dog. But then problems start to appear. The computer sees a bulldog with a flat face, or a tiny chihuahua that looks nothing like a big dog, or a dog wearing a jacket that hides its body. Suddenly, the computer is confused. The rules don't fit anymore. The computer didn't fail because it was slow. It failed because the world is messy. The problem is simple. You cannot write rules for every possible situation in the real world. There are too many shapes, angles, colors, and exceptions. This is where machine learning changed everything. Instead of giving the computer rules, humans started giving it answers. Think of AI like a young child learning about the world. You do not explain complicated definitions to a child. You do not say, a dog is a mammal with these exact measurements. You just point and say, dog, again and again and again. Then you point at something else and say, not dog. After seeing enough examples, the child starts to notice patterns. Not because you explained them, but because the brain connects them naturally. Modern AI works the same way. It looks at millions, sometimes billions of examples, pictures, words, sounds. It slowly finds patterns on its own. Some of these patterns are so small and detailed that humans cannot even explain them clearly. The AI doesn't understand the world. It learns how the world usually looks. So how does AI actually see these patterns? It uses something called a neural network. The name sounds scary, but the idea is simple. Think of it like many layers of filters stacked on top of each other. Each layer looks at the same information, but in a different way. Imagine AI is trying to recognize a handwritten letter, like the letter A. The first layer does not see a letter at all. It only asks very small questions. Is there a straight line here? Is there an angle there? Is there a dark pixel next to a light one? It passes these tiny observations to the next layer. This layer starts combining them. It says, these lines meet at a point, and this shape looks like a triangle. The next layer combines even more information. Finally, the last layer puts everything together. 2 slanted lines with a bar in the middle usually mean the letter A. This process is called deep learning, not because it is mysterious, but because the network has many layers working together. Early layers see simple things. Later layers see more complex ideas. It is not thinking, it is organizing information step by step, like an assembly line for understanding patterns. But here's the most important question. How does the AI know which patterns are correct? How does it know the difference between the letter A and the letter H? The answer is feedback. When AI first starts learning, it is terrible. It makes random guesses. You show it a dog and it might say table, or lamp, or something completely wrong. When the AI is wrong, the system sends a signal backwards. This signal simply means, that was wrong, try again. Inside the AI are billions of tiny settings called parameters. You can imagine them like sliders on a massive soundboard. Every slider controls how strongly the AI reacts to certain patterns. Every time the AI is wrong, those sliders move just a tiny bit. Not a big change, just a small adjustment. This happens again and again and again, millions of times. Slowly, the AI gets better, not because it understands dogs, but because its internal settings are tuned to react correctly to dog images. The AI does not know what a dog is. It only knows how certain patterns usually behave. Now, what about AI that writes text, stories, or answers questions? This is called generative AI. Here, the logic changes slightly. Instead of guessing right or wrong, it plays a prediction game. Think about this sentence. I like to drink coffee in the... You already know the next word. Not because you stopped to think, not because you did math, but because you've heard that sentence many times before. Your brain knows what usually comes next. Generative AI works the same way. It has seen massive amounts of human language, books, articles, conversations. When you type something, it predicts what word is most likely to follow. It is not checking facts, it is not deciding what is true, it is choosing the most likely continuation. In simple terms, it's an extremely powerful autocomplete. It reflects human language back to us, patterns learned from humans. When we look at AI, it can feel strange, almost like we are looking at something alive. But the truth is much simpler. AI is a tool built from logic, repetition, and human data. It does not have wisdom, it does not have beliefs. It borrows experience from us. Something simple became powerful only because it repeated the same process billions of times. And that's how a machine that doesn't think can still do things that look intelligent. If you enjoyed this explanation and want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe so the system knows to show you more content, and comment if you think AI is cool or if it's a waste of time. Thanks for watching.